Uh, well, my mom was my role model. And my mother grew up in Thomasville, Georgia, and picked cotton, had a fourth grade education, but she was a hard worker and didn't believe in the word quit. So she was quite an encourager, a powerful woman of faith. And she grew us up believing that there was a plan for our lives, that God loved us and that we were His children. He wanted the best things for us. And even though I was in the inner city of Cleveland, Ohio, and the projects, I still felt like I had a future. Now this started off bad because at the age of 3 I had spinal meningitis, and that was when they did not have a cure for it. So they actually told my mother, "Oh, sorry, we've done everything we know to do, but your little girl is not going to live." And she listened to them and kind of like, let them go out the room. And when they went out, she prayed and she just asked God to give her baby girl back, and that if He did, she would raise me up in the ways of the Lord the best way she knew how. And so the next day, when they came back in to re-diagnose me, they found out I was doing better. And they said, "Well, we don't know what happened, but she's turned and she's doing a little bit better, but we'll tell you this, if she makes it, she'll be mentally retarded and physically she'll never do what the normal child does." So they inferred for her to put me in an institution and go home and raise her other kids. But Mother figured if God kept my life through the night, that He had a plan for me. The most significant life event for me was my accepting Christ into my life when I was 6 years old. In fact, I remember my 6-year-old prayer was, "God, if you need anybody to go for you somewhere, here I am, send me." I was just really blessed to run into the right people at the right time. And one of those people was my coach in high school. Actually, he was the coach of the Cleveland Division of Recreation. It was a club in Cleveland. And he saw me running for my high school. And in so doing, he decided that, I think I could do something with that lady. She's doing all of this stuff, but she has no clue about what she's doing, but she's doing great. And he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And he poured his life into me. He was a Hungarian fugitive that had come over to America with his family, crawling day and night through the war-torn times to get here. So he knew what hard times was, and he was an advocate of being defensive about my life because at that time I was running into a lot of prejudice. When he got me, I was in high school, and it wasn't understood at that time for black girls to be running what we see as middle distance now. It was long distance then. And there were many times we would go to meets and they wouldn't let me in just because, well, we don't want you taking our girls' trophies. I said, well, keep them. I just want to run. You know, athletes have problems just like everybody else, but they're a little more personified than the normal person because nobody's under the under those lights to be seen in the public. But I look at this whole situation and I realize, you know, for this was I born. It's not just running around in circles and getting a medal that I can't eat. It's about being at the right place with the right words of life to give to someone who is dying.